Hey guys, this is Stephanie Hamley with Hamley Bake Shop, and today we're in my kitchen to show you some of our favorite recipes that we make at the shop. On this episode, we're going to make chocolate cake from scratch. It's super easy, super delicious, and you'll never want to buy a box cake mix again. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Alright, so before we begin, I want to let you know that in the description box below, we've listed all the recipes, our tools, equipment that we're using, along with any helpful hints and tricks that might help make this successful for you. If you'd like, please leave a comment down in the box, or if you have a suggestion for the next video, please let us know and we'd love to chat with you. Okay, so first things first, when you're reading a recipe, no matter what, you read it twice, full way through, ingredients and the directions before you get started. Make sure you have everything you need. You don't want to get halfway through and then realize, oh my gosh, I don't have enough eggs, I don't have enough milk, I've got the wrong cocoa powder or whatever. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is preheat your oven. We've got ours preheated to 350 degrees. And then we're going to spray our pan. So this recipe makes one 8-inch cake. So we're going to use two 8-inch cake pans. And we've got parchment circles in here to help them from sticking. This is just olive oil spray from Publix. You can use a baking spray. Those have a flour mixed in it to help. If you don't have that, you can use butter and flour, and we'll show you how to do all that on another episode. So we're going to set these aside, and then the first thing we're going to do is get our stand mixer. If you do not have a stand mixer, no worries. You can use a hand mixer. It really is not a big deal. It just makes it easier to not have to hold the beaters. So we've got our 2 sticks of butter and then our sugar. And we're gonna get this mixed up. And you want your butter to be room temperature, which means I can push down on it and it holds its shape. And it's just gonna mix with the sugar and they're gonna get really happy, and that's what we want. Okay, so we're gonna just get this all mixed up until the butter is super soft, it's fluffy. We want that sugar and the butter to become very good friends. I love the smell of butter and sugar. I don't know why, it just makes me happy. All right, and let me kind of show you what, we need a clear bowl for this. So you see how it's kind of just, everything's all come together. We're going to mix it just for another minute, and then we're going to start adding our eggs. And every now and then you want to scrape down your bowl, make sure there's nothing stuck to the bottom. Okay. So we're going to turn it down to medium, low, and we're going to add one egg at a time. It does not take a long time for this, so just be patient. 2, and then 1 more. All right, so our sugar and our butter have been, and our eggs, and look how fluffy, oh yes, that's what we want. So now, we are going to get all this other stuff ready. So this is cake flour, and if you do not have cake flour, we'll put down below how you can get cake flour with just all-purpose flour. So you don't have to run out to the store and go buy that. To our cake flour, we're going to add our cocoa powder, our baking soda, salt, which I use kosher salt. You can use sea salt. table salt, whatever you have. Baking soda. Did I say that already? Baking powder.
I don't know which one it is.
I've got my daughter helping me, y'all. Okay. So we are going to give this just a little stir. All right. Next thing is buttermilk. So you're like, oh, Stephanie, I don't have buttermilk. I can't make the recipe. This is not buttermilk either. This is whole milk, and we've added a teaspoon and a half of vinegar, or you can use lemon juice, whatever you have on hand, to make buttermilk. Just let that sit aside for about 5 minutes, and it'll kind of curdle just like a buttermilk would. So that's what we're going to use. You won't know the difference. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to alternate our dry ingredients with our wet. And to make my life simple, to our buttermilk, I'm going to go ahead and add our water, our vanilla, and, oh, actually that was espresso, and vanilla. So with the espresso, that's optional. It just helps enhance the chocolate flavor. If you don't have espresso, you could use just brewed coffee you had from the morning. If you don't have it, you don't like the taste of coffee, then don't put it in there. But it's going to be in the recipe. You can always omit it. Okay, so what we're going to do is on low, we're going to do just like a half a cup at a time. And then we're going to add some of our, don't spill it like I did. We're going to add some of our liquid. Or dry. This will not be on the supply list because this thing sucks. So I'm going to scrape my bowl down. They do sell paddle attachments that have, it's a silicone blade on it that kind of scrapes as you go. It's amazing, and I will link that down in the description box. We're gonna mix this just for another minute. You don't want to overmix. So really you just want, once everything has incorporated together, you don't see any dry mix, and you don't see any clumps of sugar, because that will cause, like, I call it volcanoes. It'll cause little volcanoes in your cake or your cupcakes. So if you've ever seen cupcakes or you've ever made cupcakes from scratch and there's like this weird growth that comes out of it, it's just where the sugar was not mixed in all the way. And as it baked, it just basically like crystallized. And I mean, they're delicious because it's like a little crunchy treat, but if you're aiming for prettiness factor, it's not really there. So I'm just going to give this one good mix with my spatula. Make sure I've got everything good. Okay, so we have 2 pans. How do we want to divide up the batter? You can use a cookie scoop, an ice cream scoop. You can use a spoon. If you're super OCD, you can use a scale. I don't have time, nor do I want to go, you know, it's not that big of a deal to me. So I'm just going to use my little scoop I had, and then I'm just going to even it out. Back to our cocoa powder, I wanted to let y'all know that there are different cocoa powders. So you can buy just traditional cocoa powder, or you can buy dark. I actually like to mix both of them because to me it just gives it a really nice flavor. Make sure that y'all like and subscribe and share this video. Turn those post notifications on, that way you know that when we post a new video, y'all will be the first ones to know. And if you have young children, teenagers, adults, hungry husbands, this is the part that they like. And you're like, well, Stephanie, it's got raw eggs in it. Well, apparently lettuce will kill you now, so I'll take my chances. I've been eating cookie batter and cake batter all my life. All right. So that's it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop these in the oven and let them bake, and then we'll pull them out and I'll show you the next thing that we're gonna do. Okay guys, so our cakes are done. We've let them cool. The next step is to pop them onto the counter and wrap them up in saran wrap, and then we're gonna stick them in the freezer. And the best thing to do is just stick them in the freezer overnight, and then that way the next day you're ready to decorate. And all this does is just kind of help, just get everything settled, and versus trying to cut a cake that you just baked. It will, I promise you, it will save your life. And really that's it for today. Thank you so much for showing up. Y'all are amazing. If you have a second, we would love for you to leave a comment down below. These are super important for the YouTube algorithms to make sure that our videos are seen by other people just like you that want to help increase their baking knowledge and just help them out in the kitchen. And until next time, bake something sweet.